All right. So we have done section 1, section 2, and I did go out to the Google Classroom and adjust the time so that each section I gave a day for. So I gave everybody a longer time for each of these phylogenetic trees, as we saw. So we left off on level 3. So I'm going to go here. Is which one is? I guess this one. We did 2. You can see the leaves, and we're going to move on to level 3 so we can answer those questions. Oh no. Oh no, it's going to make me do it all over again on this computer.
It's supposed to rain. You smelled it this morning, right?
What?
Rain.
Yeah, well, this morning was a weird, foggy, misty. Yes. Let me see. All right. Let me do. Oh. All right, go in. I thought. All right, we did 1. I'm just going to try to go through this. Oh, there it is. There it is. Number 3. Thank you. 1, 2, Tree of Life Vegetarian Edition. So let's go over here. And I'm putting it up here for you. It's a little complicated getting both computers wound up, but here we go.
Let's talk tree basics.
Here we are. Tree of Life. So we have 5 items here. Hide that. All right, so we have seaweed, radish, onion, lemon, and banana. So first we use our scope to get information. So seaweed. Let's use the scope. Here we go. Seaweed reproduces by releasing spores into the water. Anybody think of a plant that also releases spores? One that I love, ferns. A fern? You don't know what a fern is?
I thought you were about to say bamboo.
I hate bamboo, but I will show you. I have, when my neighbors were moving 2 doors down, they had some, here they are, ferns. Lovely ferns.
Oh, they are nice. They are nice.
And so I was able to transplant some into my yard. And the cool thing is, and they took beautifully. But see the spores that go on the backside? Those are like the babies, so that they reproduce every year. Back here, oh, we don't need that one anymore. The seaweed is the same way. So they must be closely related. Let's look at our next one. Oh, isn't this pretty? So this is we're looking at the reproductive parts of these flowers. So they have pollen. Do you see the pollen on here? Look at the white star-shaped flower with the yellow. That yellow is the pollen.
The one on the bottom, the pink one's like a butterfly.
Yeah. That's a banana flower.
Oh, shoot.
And do you know why we have flowers? Period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's for the bees. And
Yes, to attract the bees. Oh, and this pink one is a dogwood. You don't know a dogwood tree? Oh my God, I planted one in my front yard like 3 years ago.
Oh, it's nice. Oh my gosh, it's cold.
Yeah, look at it. And I planted a pink one.
It's cold. I know this tree because there's this guy by my house, old white guy by my house. Me and Jennifer were walking one day. He had the dogwood tree, and it was so nice. But he was a creep, and we didn't know. But he was a gardener though. So he told us to come over, and so we went over. And he was giving us plants or whatever, and it was like this plant that we get to taste, and it was really sweet.
Oh, honeysuckle.
Yeah, I think it was So then he took pictures of us under that tree, the dogwood tree.
Mm.
And he was talking about maybe I should come over and all that. I was like,
Yeah.
And I was like, I gotta go. He's like, no, wait.
Grandma raised you right.
I was like, oh hell nah.
All right. So yes. Let me find the other one. What is it that I'm looking for? Road. All right, so I also have this, which is dying. I had, but I have a little bit left. And let me see if I can pull up. This is a rhododendron, and the flowers are like big fluff balls, right? But let me see if I can get a close up of the flowers, because I learned this in botany. Let's see if I can. Over at the Bartlett Arboretum, they have a beautiful exhibit of different styles. But maybe you can see it. What they have like little dots going in, and the professor explained to me it's like a runway. How the runway has those lights going down. This is a runway for the bees to get to the pollen.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
Yeah, see the dots here? So whenever, huh? Rhododendron. Its spelling is hard. ROD.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. So anyway, so let's go back to our picture. So each one of these has pollen, and it's showing you. Oh, so this exotic flower is for the banana. This is a lemon flower. This is an onion flower. And this is, a radish flower. I'm going to be growing radishes this summer. And then this is the seaweed spores. And so here is the banana with this in front, the huge flower. We have a problem with our banana crop right now because we don't have diversity in the banana species. We only have one kind.
It's cool. What you call it? That's banana for real?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is bananas.
Yeah.
That is bananas.
But if they don't figure out a way to diversify the bananas, they've already killed in 1967 or something the bananas that I grew up with. This is the second type, and they're killing this with disease. Let me find the video. Wait a minute, YouTube.
It's cool. I heard that everybody's coming back next week.
Oh, you didn't get my communication this morning?
But I'm reading it right now.
I sent it with the Anchor all school communication. Uh-oh.
Monday, March 15th, we did some learning for middle and high school students. Yay! For how long?
Monday.
Just for one day?
Yeah.
What?
How did this go off? Is this right? No, it's not right. Monday is in case I get sick or anybody else gets sick from the shot.
Yeah.
But we're still expected to work from home. Right now, they're saying everybody come back except for distance learners.
That doesn't make any sense.
Right. But April 19th. So when we have the final date, well, you heard wrong. Hello? It sounded like somebody came on, but okay. Let me add this so I can play this for you. YouTube. You see, it takes me forever. Bananas. Lack of diversity. Actually,
Did Jennifer call you yesterday?
no.
She told me she wanted to talk to you. I sent her your number.
You should have. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. So I'm going to do that. So you guys can see too. All right, here we go.
We have reached the golden age of medical science. It's giving us a depth of understanding of human disease, which we tap into to lead to new therapies.
to the birthplace of the Cavendish banana, possibly the most important fruit in the world, eaten by billions of us every single year. We're here in the very depths of the English countryside. We're here in Chatsworth House in England, which is mostly known for its stunning landscapes and gardens, for over 5 centuries of British aristocracy, and of course, for being the birthplace of the Cavendish banana.
Every banana that's grown almost around the world today is a Cavendish banana, and because they don't produce seed, it's the same genetic material at every plant, and so pretty much every banana that's eaten around the world started their journey here in the 1830s as the Cavendish dwarf banana.
Hey! Not having seeds means you can munch your way through Cavendish bananas without chipping your teeth, but it also means that they're sterile and can only be grown by replanting identical offshoots.
Well, they're coming from China, I think through Mauritius, and they arrived in this country and 6 June cultivated and got them to flower and fruit, realised their potential as a food crop, and from there they turned it into a commercial crop that they started to export, and that's when we all started to enjoy them on the supermarket shelf.
So essentially the hundreds of billions of bananas that we consume are all direct clones of these bananas here.
Yes.
Cool.
I'm Chiquita Banana and I've come to say bananas have to ripen in a certain...
This quirky-looking yellow fruit was once unknown to the West, but after a massive marketing campaign and an even bigger production plan, it's now one of America's most consumed fresh fruits.
The banana business model is the cheapest fruit in the supermarket.
Author Dan Kopel, or Dan the Banana Man, explained how that all became possible.
Consider that a banana gets shipped thousands of miles, goes bad really fast. How is it possible that a banana can be so cheap? Well, you got to control the things you can control, which are labor and land. And so when the banana industry started, an essential part of their business model was to make sure that they didn't pay anything basically for workers, and they didn't pay anything for land. How did they do that? Military force. So over and over again, the banana companies took over countries, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, Colombia, all over Latin America, in order to make sure their business model of cheap bananas was preserved. And this led to insane, horrible amounts of bloodshed, genocide, and the birth of the term banana republic, which meant a country that wasn't controlled by its native people, but by American banana companies.
I mean, it's kind of shaped a lot of countries and even whole continents.
Oh yeah, the very makeup of Latin America would not be the same if not for bananas.
Now, countries like Costa Rica are dominated not just by a single crop, but by a single clone, creating one of the world's biggest monocultures.
Work all night and a drink a rum.
We're in a massive banana plantation in Costa Rica. Here in Latin America is where the majority of our bananas in the US actually come from. If we have brown bananas, the consumer just rejects them right out. So every single stage of this process has to be calculated to a T.
6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot, 9.
Also, on every single one of these structures, you look at about 150 bananas. It's a lot of bananas they've got to harvest every day. An operation this big needs an equally large workforce.
La fuente de trabajo, fuente de ingresos, en todo el sentido de la palabra. Casi mi familia trabaja en bananera. Mi papá, mi hermano, mi mamá, y prácticamente nosotros vivimos de banana.
Thousands and thousands of Cavendish bananas have been harvested just out here, and now we're making our way to the packing station where they're going to be shipped all the way across the world.
Kind of it's hard to make a good impression of video. What we made, it's like instant we get of it. A simple way to be interesting on camera. It works.
The size of this farm is enormous. You've got 8,000 boxes being filled every single day, full to the brim of bananas. That's happening 365 days a year. So I'm pretty busy. The scale and speed at which these bananas are cultivated, packed, and shipped is only possible because of the use of this one clone of banana. How do we get to rely so heavily on just this one crop?
If you want to get profit, you have to put everything in a budget.
because it's very easy to manage the whole plantation. But the only problem is pest and diseases.
Agricultural expert Dr. Luis Procosangre explained that this is the problem with monocultures. They're all susceptible to the same diseases, which can spread like wildfire.
The people are afraid about they call it the cancer of the bananas.
This cancer is known as TR4, a strain of Panama disease, and it's devastating banana crops around the world.
Panama disease is a fungus. It's called Fusarium wilt, and it spreads very quickly. It can destroy an entire country's crop in 4 years. As it doesn't just kill the bananas, it makes it impossible to grow bananas in that place again.
Ground zero for the spread of this disease is the Philippines, the second largest banana supplier in the world. Bananas are central to the Filipino economy, accounting for nearly 90% of all exported fruit. So this all used to be bananas here?
Yes. You know, here on the edge, you see quite a number of plants that are yellowing.
Right.
So essentially, these are only infected with Panama disease.
Herb Kermer is a plant pathologist who works with banana corporations as well as small farmers to monitor and contain the spread of TR4.
Oh, that's infected. Over there, okay.
Right.
I can assure you that many of the plants that are here around that still look pretty good, most likely they're infected too.
Really?
Yes.
How long has this been infected for?
Months. Once you see it, since this takes months, you're really very, very late. And the farmer does everything he can to kill those plants, but it's not stopping the disease. That's essentially what's going on.
Farmers here are frantically trying to stop the spread by chopping down the plants, covering them with flammable rice hull, and burning the pile. This entire landscape is dotted with rice hull fibers. You see they're spraying disinfectant and trying to quarantine the plant. But I mean, these people have been walking all over this area. I've been walking all over this area. There's no disinfectant around the farm, only at the very entrance. So it's so hard to contain this disease. With containment being impossible, small-time farmers are left with the difficult choice of how much land they're willing to sacrifice in order to contain the spread.
We have about 2,000 cases in all areas. That's a huge amount of money lost for us.
In total, how many workers have you had to lay off?
We terminated 4 of them just this month. It's very hard. It's very hard.
This is just one plantation of hundreds in the region. Thousands more acres of banana crops have been affected, and the disease is spreading quickly.
Plants, especially in regular shape. Those are all pitches in that we knocked out during its operation. But there's hardly any down there. This is past the tipping point.
Monoculture is a bad thing. It's not just a bad thing because it means we only get one banana and there are many more that taste good. Monoculture is a bad thing because it's an environmental disaster. It's a cultural and social disaster. It requires the transformation of forests into factories. I'd say the chances of the Cavendish banana crop being devastated by Panama disease are 100%. The question is, will there be a replacement? And will it be a replacement that repeats the monoculture and repeats the mistake? Or will it be part of a sort of arsenal of varietal bananas?
The reason he's so confident that this will happen is because it's actually happened before. Over 50 years ago, the entire banana industry was almost wiped out by the original strain of this fungus.
The original banana that gave birth to the banana industry was a different breed. This banana was called the Gros Michel. It was a bigger banana than the one we have now. It tasted better. In every way, it was a better banana, except it was susceptible to this disease. And by 1960, it was what we call commercially or functionally extinct.
To replace it, they needed a banana that looked like the Gros Michel, which they'd been marketing for about half a century. There was only one option: the somewhat inferior tasting, but aesthetically similar Cavendish banana.
They invent bagging and boxing. They invent ripening rooms. They come up with all these ways to make the Cavendish work, and they gamble that people aren't going to care that it tastes bad. And that's what happened. And the Cavendish becomes our banana, and the Gros Michel and the lesson of the Gros Michel is totally forgotten.
An entire global monoculture has been built around exporting this one inferior banana, which could suffer the same fate as the Gros Michel. Even though worldwide, there are around 1,000 different types of bananas.
This is a Cavendish that when it ripens, it doesn't turn yellow.
Cheers.
It's better than the Cavendish. But this is not the one that is exported. The market is used to a yellow banana.
It does feel weird eating a green banana. What's this?
TR17. It's the product of hybridization, moderately resistant to TR4.
So why is this one not used?
Because the taste is no good.
I'm
What about this
taking.
one? This one looks funny.
That doesn't affect the pulp, see? But nobody will buy them because they judge it by the skin.
Yeah, it's not very appealing, is it?
Because consumers like America, for instance, you buy with your rice.
As the industry continues to rely on the one most marketable banana, the risk of this massive monoculture being wiped out by disease is ramping up. TR4 has now spread all across Asia, to the Middle East, and then to Africa. Back in Latin America, one botanist, Dr. Juan Aguilar, is the banana's best hope for survival. We went to Honduras, where he and his team of scientists are inventing new breeds in the hopes of finding a marketable, disease-resistant banana.
The pollinator is the person who makes sex with the banana.
Why do you need to do that?
For example, I am resistant to cancer, and you is not resistant to cancer. We need to make love, make sex to get that son who maybe will be resistant to cancer. This is the sperm. Huh? This is the female flower. If you put your finger, you feel that the female is sticky. This female is ready to make sex. Today, only today.
Okay. So these little guys are completely resistant to TR4. What they've got to do now is isolate this one resistant trait and put it into the Cavendish, so crossbreed it. The problem is that could be a really, really long, laborious process. These bananas are incapable of sexually reproducing on their own, so Aguilar's doing it for them. 3 months after pollination, these bananas are harvested, peeled, and squashed. By Aguilar's own estimates, it takes about 12,000 bananas to create a single seed. Once they find a seed, it's grown to see what traits it carries before being crossbred multiple times to create the hybrid thereafter. It's kind of worrisome if this is one of the most viable solutions for our TR4 problem worldwide. They've been going for decades and they still haven't found a TR4-resistant Cavendish. And who knows how many more decades they're going to be going for before they do find one. While Aguilar continues his search for that ultimate golden disease-resistant banana, its future as a monoculture crop poses a bigger question about our agricultural systems. By demanding the cheapest, most uniform products in our lunchboxes, we don't just run the risk of losing the almighty banana, but also the biodiversity of life on Earth.
Conventional plant breeding, making by process, like Dr. Aguilar is doing, that is fundamental. We have also to try to change the mind of the market also and the consumers. Scientists cannot do it. This is a work that perhaps you that are working in media, you can promote these ideas.
I'll save the bananas for you.
Yes, why not? Why not?
Okay, that's it. So, did you get it? Did you understand?
Yeah, I got it.
What?
Yeah, I can do that.
All right, so now I don't want to see me anymore. All right, so let's go back.
Americans love bananas.
Oh.
We eat more of them than any other fruit.
Stop. So let us go back here to our evolution. And lemon tree, onions, radishes, So let us build. All right, so I would say seaweed started it all because life came out of the ocean, right? So let's put the seaweed up here. And after seaweed, onions maybe branched off. No, I don't like that branch. Releases spores into the water. Why is there it goes. Releases spores into the water. Produces flowers? No. But photosynthetic autotroph, isn't it? Produces its own food? No. So a radish and an onion. No. All right, so release spores. Produces flowers. Oh, seaweed doesn't produce flowers. Oh, that's right. Okay. I could look this up. No.
It's called James said hi.
Oh. Tell him I'm mad at him. And where's my power cord that he owes me? He disappointed me greatly.
That's James' middle name. I said Miss Cole said, where the fuck is your power cord?
Oh, is it time? All right. I'm almost done with this. What am I missing?
You should have the West Hill science teachers, looking at your stuff and getting notes. He said, I'm lost. I just came to that school the other day.
And,
I'm gonna let you know what he says after.
say you'll take it. Bring it to me. I need power cords.
I can bring it to you.
Mhm.
Is Arlene here?
Yeah, she's here. Ah, we did it. Yay. I thought I'd never get this one. Is a banana more closely related to a lemon or an onion? Okay, so the banana's over here, and it's got the split with the onion. So the answer is onion. All right. So let's look at our questions. Back to our questions. Level 3. Which is the only species which reproduces with spores? Well, we know that is the seaweed. What do all 5 of these species have in common? I think they're plants. Photosynthesis. And the answer is onion. All right, we did pretty good. Took us a little while, but we got there. All right, so let's get our score. And we'll go to next. And so we should be set up for tomorrow when we start the new one. All right, so let me move this up.